Hello, everyone. It's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. Give me one moment to refresh the live chat. That way, I'll be able to talk with you all during the stream. We can all hang out, and I can talk about my day so far, as I always do in these vlog videos. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day today, and make sure if you're just now tuning in to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. So, like I said, right now the live chat's refreshing. Yo, Shuri, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. Today, there shouldn't be too much to talk about, to be honest. I did a lot, but there's not too much that I can like talk about. So I went to we got another viewer and another like simultaneously. Truly appreciate it. Uh, let's see. Shuri says he's super tired. Ray King said, "Hey, yo, Ray King, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. I heard that you won the tournament. How'd it go? Were you still playing Egyptian gods? Did you play Egyptian gods throughout like the whole tournament? In case you guys are confused on what I'm talking about, Ray King has been doing Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments on Discord, and I saw a comment by him that said that he won the tournament, but he's still doing regular duels. That's great to hear. Let's see. So, like I said, I went to the job fair. I had 4 interviews today. Um, one interview seemed promising, but I couldn't get a job offer out of it. The way that the interview worked was um, we do the interview, we see if we like you. If we do, we fly you out to the site of where we host everything, like our main headquarters. You get a tour, and then after the tour, if we like you, we give you the actual job offer. So the interview was like the first step in a multi step process kind of thing. The second interview I had, I actually got a conditional job offer. So as long as I can fulfill the conditions of that job offer within 18 months of me graduating, I can fulfill my scholarship condition and get a full-time position in the government, which is what I want, which is great. My third interview that I had, it was for a career development program. And for that program, you had to have a specific major, and I just didn't fulfill the major requirements. So I'm taking information systems and information assurance with a concentration in cybersecurity. They were looking for a computer science major, and they needed so many programming and networking courses, and they needed so many math based courses. And my issue was I've had multiple math based courses, but they weren't like calculus and above. I have like one course that's equal to like normal calculus. So that's the big issue with that. Um, so I wasn't able to apply for that one. Let me read a little bit of the live chat so I'm able to go through, and then I'll continue about my interviews. So John Mason said, "Hey, yo, John Mason, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Thank you for smashing that like button. I think everyone who's been watching has smashed the like button already. Hasn't even been 3 minutes." Shuri said, "Tournament of Power." Then John Mason said, "Congratulations. Thank you, John Mason. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I was able to get a few job offers." Um, Scrolling down a little bit more, Shuri Chen said, "Yawns." Ray King said, "Okay, I lost with the God deck, but my Galaxy deck won." Okay, so you were playing like Galaxy Eyes, Dragon, stuff like that. Shuri Chan said, "Sorry, I'm super tired." No problem, Shuri. It's interesting to type the yawn, though. I will say that. But I hope that you get plenty of rest. So, like I said, with the third interview, sadly, my degree didn't give the requirements needed for me to actually pursue that development program. And then Ray King said, "Photon Galaxy Eyes." Oh, ballin'. I've never been super into the Galaxy Eyes monsters. I have one Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon like card in real life, but I've never had the other cards to complement it to like make a real deck out of it. John Mason said, "That's the deck I'm making." Oh, ballin'. I see we got a few Galaxy Eyes fans here. And he says, but his main deck is Preda DD. So you're playing like Preda Plants and Different Dimension? That's interesting. Shuri said, "Gotta go. Say bye to the Bacon King, my dudes." Ooh, catch you later, Shuri. Good to have you. I hope you get plenty of rest and you enjoy your night. John Mason said, "Yep, mixed it up." Then he said, "Bye, Shuri." Um, so my fourth interview went really well, and with that one, I got another conditional job offer. So I'm excited about that. Um, I got a text message tonight from another potential employer about an interview. Sadly, I'm going to be leaving DC early in the morning, so I won't be able to conduct an interview with them in person. but I may be able to do an over the phone interview, and it seems like that's the direction that we're going in with that. But after the job fair, I came back up to the room. I talked with Maddie on the phone, talked to her about her day, and then after I finished talking with Maddie, I put my phone up. Mom wanted to take pictures. Oh, at the job fair, they had a bunch of different like goodies that you can get. I got a yo-yo that glows, that has lights in it. So I played around with my yo-yo. Mom and I went outside, and she took a few pictures. She keeps taking pictures in portrait. I don't know why. Landscape is the ideal way to film anything. Imagine if this stream was in portrait. It would look gross. It would look gross on TVs. Portrait's only good for looking at stuff on phones. This time around, my mom's awake, so I can be as loud as I want. I tried to whisper a little bit yesterday. Try to not be like too loud. Um, so mom went outside and took pictures for a little bit. I got back to the hotel room and I changed out of my dress clothes so that I could, relax for a bit. I wanted to apply, to just keep applying to jobs immediately after the job fair. But what ended up happening instead was I was really tired. I tried to take like three different 25-minute naps and just didn't work. And then I ended up waking up later. I had a few messages from a few friends at the job fair who were like, "Hey, do you want to like go out to eat or like do something?" Even mom was like, "Do you want to like go out to eat or like hang out?" And I was like, "No, no, I gotta like apply. I gotta try and like work on applying to stuff." Um, I also got to talk with Danica online for a little bit, which was pretty cool. But I ended up exercising. I've only seen one additional episode of Hunter x Hunter, so I'm a little behind on my Hunter x Hunter watching. My next episode that I need to watch is 119. So I'm trying to get through the Chimera Ant arc. I'm really enjoying it so far. I just need to get through it. Um, but yeah, that's most of what I did today. Not super eventful. Let me read some of the live chat because I know I'm a little behind. So Ray King said there's a buddy fight. So there is like an online website. It's weird to say online website. There's a website where you're able to play buddy card fight online. But I have mixed feelings about it. I wish that it was automated like Dueling Nexus. It's a lot harder for me to get into games online where you have to make sure that you're following the rules and your opponent's following the rules that are games that I've never actually played before. So I've never played Buddy Card Fight, but I've always been interested in it. Uh, but I don't want to go online facing off against people who either do or don't know how to play it and have to like work through it. Then John Mason said, "Oh, Nick, do you know about Brave Browser? What is Brave Browser?" And then John Mason said, "I tipped you on it twice." Tipped? Can you tip people with a browser? Tell me more. I actually don't know what Brave Browser is. He said, but not sure if you got it. Then Lightwork Attribution said, "What are your hobbies?" I'm really into writing, so I write superhero stories. I publish a lot of books on Amazon. So if you just look up my name, you'll be able to find it. You can either type in jetblackrlsh publishing on Amazon, or you can just type in my name like Nicholas Alexander Benson on Amazon. I'll pull up my books. But I publish a lot of books, whether they be superhero stories, books on magic. I publish books on mainly those two things, but I also do role playing guides. So if you're into stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, I make my own Dungeons and Dragons esque games, normally superhero themed with like powers and stuff like that. I'll publish those. I do work on Fiverr where I'll like cast spells for people. I'll write raps. I'll write superhero stories. So the same things I normally like to do, but for money. I enjoy vlogging and making YouTube videos and even doing a little bit of video editing. I like to edit images online, do like digital art. I like to code in Python. It's my preferred programming language. Um, I like to hang out with friends. I spend a lot of time hanging out with my friend Maddie. We probably hang out the most. But I also hang out with my friend Ryan multiple times a week. I normally spend the night at my friend Matt's at least like once a week. I normally hang out with Colin, CJ, Gerard, Matt, Avery, Sydney, and we all play like Smash Brothers and D&D. Oh, and Max. I also hang out with Max at least once a week. Me and Aiden, aka Winslow, are pretty tight. But Winslow normally gets kind of busy during the school year, so we'll hang out less and less until he gets more free time. But when he has free time, we hang out like multiple nights in a row, and we get like a lot of like hangout time. And so hanging out with friends for the most part. is like a big part of like my hobbies. Comic books, uh, anime, manga are definitely within my interest field, specifically DC comics. I love reading DC characters. My favorite comic book character is Captain Atom. For Marvel, my favorite character is Sentry. Two very similar characters, just owned by different companies. I really enjoy those. But yeah, if you have any more questions about my hobbies, feel free to hit me up. John Mason said also she's not watching her cooking show tonight. She's not. Mom has been watching American Horror Story. I don't know. I think American Horror Story is a little weird. They just do stuff that I feel like is weird for a television show. I know, but to me, it's not that interesting. The current story that she's watching is okay. It has to do with like these witches, and they're trying to figure out which one is the supreme, which is like the most powerful witch of them all. Which reminds me of the Sorcerer Supreme in Marvel Comics, because that's what Doctor Strange is. He's like the most powerful magic user. But I like the concept of no one knows who's the strongest, and like trying to like work around it. Let's see. Mala said, "K, yo Mala, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you." Raking said, "Ooh, it scrolled down a little bit too far." He said, "My match is starting, so gotta go. Sorry, but not one on Friday. So also, Raking, best of luck in your match. I hope everything goes well. I think Mom's getting a phone call. Best of luck in your match. I hope that you win. Best of luck. Are you gonna play Gods or Galaxy?" Let me scroll down. So John Mason said me or Nick, and then he said good luck, Ray King. Then Ray King said, I mean my match is starting. Nick, wish me luck. I wish you luck, Ray King. I wish you the best of luck. I'm excited to see how you do. John Mason said there is a Japanese automated buddy fight Android game, but I probably wouldn't want to play a Japanese mobile game. I just feel like the language barrier would be weird. Downloading the Japanese version would be weird. Release that in America. I'd be more than happy to hit that up. And then John Mason said, not sure when it'll be released worldwide. He said Brave browser is a really cool browser. You get a sort of cryptocurrency just by watching videos or doing anything really. He said then you can tip your favorite content creators. So far I have about 7 US. Well, 5 now. I tipped you. Oh, that's interesting. How would I get access to those tips? Like, does Brave browser somehow hit me up and go, hey, you received like money? Um, but a cryptocurrency from watching videos? That sounds interesting. How many videos did you have to watch to get $7 in like US currency? Like, what's the transition between cryptocurrency to US dollars through it? Then John Mason said, I can't remember. Do you use Wattpad since you're a writer? So I don't use Wattpad. I think I might have one because when I went into Writer's Block, which is the on campus writing club, I forgot about clubs. So I do have the creative writing club that I go to, Writer's Block, at my university. I have really enjoyed doing that. They were talking about Wattpad a lot, and that was like a big thing that they did. So I think I do have a Wattpad, but I never post to it. Whenever I'm working on something, I'm normally working on it either for a customer on Fiverr or to publish it on Amazon for anyone to be able to buy. So I don't really post to Wattpad. The easiest way to read anything from me is to buy something directly from me on Fiverr or to order something off Amazon that I've written. Let's see. Ray King said, Nick, I got 2 minutes for my buddy fight match. And he said, I mean 4 minutes. Oh, so you're playing buddy fight next. I thought you were still doing Yu-Gi-Oh. Yo, best of luck in your buddy fight match. What world do you play? Also, sorry, there's like a little bit of crosstalk. If at any period you guys can't like fully hear me, just feel free to ask me to speak up. Um, but yeah, just to reiterate, the stuff that I did today: job fair, 4 interviews, potentially a fifth interview in the near future. Probably be a phone interview. I got 2 conditional job offers, which is great. So hopefully, I'll be able to get those jobs, and I feel like I will. I just have to fulfill the conditions needed to accept the job offer within the next 18 months. Ray King says he plays Lost World and Hero. I'm really interested in playing a Hero deck. Are there any buddy card fight structure decks that are based on the Hero world? Like to where you can buy a deck straight off the shelf that's already built for Hero play? Excuse me, because I think that'd be really cool. Let's see. I got a yo-yo that has lights in it. I guess I want to show you guys the yo-yo. I'm gonna grab it and then show it off. It's just a little yo-yo with red LED lights in it, but I think it's cool. I feel like I'm gonna have to stand up to show the yo-yo. It only glows when you like actually use it. But I haven't had a yo-yo in like years. It glows only when it like goes low, and it goes too low for like the camera to show. Uh, I'm trying to find a way to show you guys the LED light effect. Yeah, on camera you can only look at the yo-yo for like a short period. John Mason said, and Nick never returns. And he said, well, never mind, he's back already. And he said, oh, I saw it. Yeah. So you can actually see the spool of string through it because it's like a transparent yo-yo. And then the red lights go off when you pull it back up, but it just happens really quickly. And then Ray King said, I am. Solid. I'm glad that you're ready for action to play in the match. Is it a part of a buddy fight tournament, or is it just a duel that you're playing online that was just pre-scheduled? Ooh, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I've done tonight. Like I said, I only watched one Hunter episode today, so I haven't gotten much farther in the Chimera Ant arc. The King fight hasn't even really started yet, where I'm at. Also, I hope you're alright, Mom. Mom was recently in Florida, and now she's in Washington, D.C. I think the temperature change got her, so I think she's sick. Um, Also, I missed the first couple days of class, and because of that, my first class is going to be tomorrow at like 6 p.m., more or less, and I have that class with Danica, so I'm really excited about that. We're actually both really excited about that, so I think that'd be dope. Let's see. John Mason said, Nick, when you're free, can you read 3 chapters of my novel I'm working on? He said, I just want your feedback since you're already a published author. What I can do, John Mason, um, could you send me like a outline of what you have so far of the 3 chapters? Um, and then I can look over the outline. I feel like a lot of times the issue isn't necessarily like how you wrote out what you've written, but just the structure of what you've written and making a balance of like action and suspense in your writing. So a lot of times, you can see where writing fails when they set up like interesting point and then they don't make it suspenseful. For example, a lot of times in the Adventures of Superboy, which I've been watching on DC Universe. Speaking of which, I need to get back on that. Mom, I think is buying me Adventures of Superboy on DVD, like all of it. By the way, thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. She's doing that for Christmas. Occasionally in that show, Superboy will have a mission that seems like it could be really suspenseful. Like if the writer just writes it in a certain way, it could challenge Superboy and make it like difficult. But instead, the writer makes the difficulty that Superboy can't change into his alter ego. He's stuck as Clark Kent because for whatever reason, he's surrounded by people. He can't just change. There's someone who's actively watching him or like holding on to him. And the suspense is, can he become Superboy in time without anyone noticing to then stop the act? And that sometimes works to create suspense and sometimes doesn't. But I do think suspense is probably the most important part of any story. Trying to make it seem like there's a risk involved that our hero has to overcome. But you have to make sure that your hero is challenged, and I feel like that's the biggest thing I'd be looking for. I try and look at an outline, and I try to see in your outline, is the hero being challenged, and how do they overcome that challenge, and is it satisfying? John Mason said Batman Beyond is one of his favorite cartoons. That's ballin'. I actually am a big fan of Batman Beyond. I actually have all of Batman Beyond on DVD. As you guys know, even though DVD is like a dead format, I do like to try and get as much of a series on DVD as I can, just in case it gets removed from a streaming service. But Batman Beyond is also one of my favorites. I've watched the first few episodes a few too many times, so I always skip the first few. Um, but I do really enjoy the series overall. It's kind of weird that Batman Beyond story ends in Justice League Unlimited, so you don't get a real ending from the show itself. Do you happen to have a favorite Batman Beyond villain or a favorite Batman Beyond episode? That definitely would be cool to talk about. Also, do you remember the Zeta Project, that weird cartoon about a robot assassin that spun off from Batman Beyond? He had like one episode in the series, maybe two, in Batman Beyond, and then he got like an entire show to himself, but I never hear people talk about it. Then Ray King said, no, it's a tournament. Then Ray King said, I'm making it right now. So you're making a deck for Heroes or for Lost World? Because that's dope. Then John Mason said Justice League Unlimited too. I personally am not a big fan of Justice League Unlimited. Um, I prefer Young Justice over the Justice League cartoon and over Teen Titans. I feel like it does a better job of being both than those older cartoons, oddly enough. Static Shock is another one of the DC animated universe shows that I really liked. But I think Batman Beyond is probably better overall than Static Shock. Love Static Shock, but I still think Batman Beyond is probably a cooler show. Um, I don't know. Now I'm starting to debate on that whether or not Batman Beyond's cooler than Static Shock. That actually is debatable. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. Young Justice is probably my favorite overall, but I feel like Young Justice gets an unfair advantage because it's newer, and it has good writing behind it. Uh, Not to say that those older shows didn't have good writing behind them. It's just not the same. Uh, I'd say Static Shock actually probably had better writing than Batman Beyond. From a writing standpoint, I think Static Shock probably takes that win over Batman Beyond. But Young Justice, I think, is better than Static Shock as well. Let's see. John Mason said, "Ball take time to do an outline." Oh, ballin'. Yeah, I would definitely like to look over an outline of what you've worked on so far, and then just see like what kind of story it is. My expertise is in like overcoming the monster stories, where a monster is like going to cause a problem. A hero learns about this and decides that they have to deal with it. The hero then has to prepare to deal with the monster because they haven't prepared yet, but suddenly they have to deal with the monster soon. There's like a level of suspense, and they have to act quickly in order to prevent the monster from doing something that they wouldn't like. Uh, then they have to face off against the monster, but the monster presents challenges to the hero, and the hero has to find ways to overcome these challenges in order to eventually defeat the monster. Normally, this involves preparation that was done in chapter two, which was the chapter where they like prepared. Um, so it has a lot to do with like the hero growing in some way, developing their skills to be able to overcome the threat. And the reader needs to believe that at the beginning of the story, the hero wouldn't have been able to deal with the monster, but be able to believe that they can deal with them after a little bit of like turbulence. You know, they shouldn't easily defeat the monster after their preparation. It should be like a challenge. And then chapter 5 is all about the hero just getting rewarded. The main issue is that the hero has gone through all this trouble, but for what? And you get to see the benefits of the hero having gone through that journey and what they get out of it. And then John Mason said his story is all about outsmarting a deity. Um, Actually, let me scroll back a little bit in the live chat. I will comment on that, but I just feel like I skipped over a few things. John Mason said, I still love DVD. I also still enjoy DVD. I feel like Blu ray's unnecessary. Blu ray is good quality, but I have a PS4 so I can play Blu ray, but still, it's kind of whatever. Then John Mason said, actually, I don't remember that. Yeah, the Zeta Project. Just feel free to Google it. It should come up. I wonder if the Zeta Project is on the DC Universe streaming service. I feel like it isn't. I think Batman Beyond and Static Shock are, though. Then Ray King said both, and then he said, Nick, oh, so you're mixing together Lost World and Hero into one deck? So I didn't know you could mix worlds in Buddy Card Fight. That's interesting. Then John Mason said, yeah, Young Justice is amazing. I still haven't seen any of Season 3 yet, but I want to. Then John Mason said, well, my story is about outsmarting a deity and lots of sacrifice. Excuse me. So when it comes to outsmarting a deity, I imagine the situation is the main character is in a situation where the deity needs to be dealt with in some way. Maybe the hero is trying to achieve a goal, and they feel like the only way they can achieve that goal is to like outsmart or outwit the deity. So they're like, okay, so I have to like work towards doing that. So chapter one is them deciding that that's what they need to do. Chapter two, I would imagine would be them trying to prepare. Oh, it's the trapped in a school story that you talked about before. Okay, so they're outsmarting the deity to try and get out of the school. So I guess I would probably set it up to where they're trapped in the school and they want to get out. and they realize that the only way that they'll be able to get out is to try and outsmart the deity. So that would probably be like my chapter one if I was writing it. Chapter two would be them preparing, doing research, keeping an eye on the deity, trying to figure out a plan that they could actually execute in order to escape. I would probably set it up in a way to where their plan can work, but it'll only work if they do it within a certain time frame. So they have a limited amount of time to prepare and get everything ready in order to escape the school. Chapter three would be probably an escalation of the time schedule where they're like, okay, we have like a few more days, and then they realize that they have less time than before. For whatever reason, the plan now won't work if they waste any more time on preparation. They have to act now. So they rush through the rest of their preparation process. Maybe a few things they originally planned they had to change, or they just have to completely ignore those parts of the plan, which will make it more dangerous, and they kind of rush into starting the plan. Chapter 4 would be them trying to execute the plan, but the deity challenges them in some way. It makes it where they're having difficulty to actually be able to execute the plan. Maybe the deity has some kind of weird ability or trump card, and they have to find and identify a weakness that they can exploit using their plan and their individual skills in order to eventually outwit the deity and escape. And then chapter 5 would be talking about what are the benefits of escaping. Now that they're out of the school, what do they get out of it? And that's probably how I would structure it, how I would outline that kind of story. Let's see. John Mason said the book is going to be about 20 something chapters. Cough. He said I'm writing two light novels for it. And then John Mason said, oh, so a lot of times with overcoming the monster stories, I give it a 5 chapter structure, even if it wasn't originally written in 5 chapter structure, and you can expand it to be more than that. Um, for example, with Dragon Ball Z, you can summarize like entire sagas of Dragon Ball Z that are like multiple episodes into just like a 5 chapter story. Because most overcoming the monster arcs hit those beats. The hero has to accept the challenge, they have to prepare for it. Um, Things have to get suspenseful, and they have to try and deal with the problem as soon as possible for whatever reason. They have to get challenged by the monster in some way to where they can't just easily defeat them after they prepared. And then after they succeed in whatever they're doing, you have to see what do they get out of it. Um, so you can have it be like 20 chapters. I just feel like a lot of it will be additional detail, just going into, you know, more in depth descriptions of characters. And I guess what I'm getting at is I feel like a lot of it will probably be additional information that doesn't necessarily need to be known for the story, but will be helpful for the story to help like do more world building and get people more invested in the characters. And then John Mason said filler, lol. I mean, that's more or less what I'm getting at is the idea that anything that's outside of that structure for an overcoming the monster story is just like additional flavor, and people definitely like additional flavor. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It helps people get more. I was about to say get more merged. It helps people feel more immersed in your story when you have that additional flavor. So I think that'll be cool. Let's see. So let me scroll up in the live chat. John Mason said, "Oh, true, very true." Then Ray King said, "Nick, I'm making an impact monster in a Lost World." He said, "I have a thing that I say when I use Lost World. Want to hear?" Yeah, I'd love to hear it. One thing that I really like about trading card games is doing a little bit of improv, like role playing as if I'm in like the show or property that is based off of. Uh, so when playing Yu-Gi-Oh, especially when I play Dark Sanctuary, I really like to get really into character on that. In Vanguard, I like to say like "Stand your Vanguard" and like yell out and stuff like that. So I do like hearing catchphrases and stuff that people say when they duel. I do think that's fun. Let's see. Ray King said, "Get lost. I use Lost World." Oh, I dig that. That definitely works. What would I say if I had a catchphrase that was based on Lost World? What is the theme of Lost World, by the way? I know there's like a dragon world that's based on like dragons, but what is Lost World focused in? I know more about Hero World than I know about Lost World. And then Ray King said, haha, come, lost deck. Let's see. John Mason said, Nick, ever think we'll have a D&D session? So I have done a few D&D live streams. I have a lot of trouble getting into D&D. I think one of the issues that I had with the D&D live streams was that we did multiple people talking on mic. So multiple people with microphones discussing. I think that's a little cumbersome when you're trying to play D&D online because when you talk with mics as if it's like a phone call, it's really easy to accidentally like talk over another person, and I just don't vibe with that as much. I don't want to accidentally talk over somebody else, so that's my big thing. Let's see. So I think if I was to do more D&D live streams with people like via the live chat, I would try and do it either with very few people in the campaign, try and keep it limited, or have like a normal size campaign and have it where everyone types and I'll like talk and narrate. Similar to how I read the live chat for this, and you don't hear everybody's voice, you just hear me read what other people say, and you can also read it in the live chat. I would want to do it more like that. People like type out what they want to do and what they want to say and how they want to interact with the world. And you guys would have dice rollers that you use online, and you just like type in your dice rolls and stuff like that. I just feel like that'd be easier to manage. Colin has a D&D campaign, Faking's Coast, which is now called Fool's Kingdom, and we're gonna try to live stream it. So we're going to definitely try to record it. So I think that'll be dope. I think it'll be really interesting to stream our D&D sessions. I feel like they'll be multiple hours long, and I want to make sure that it's good quality. So I definitely want to hear feedback on like our first few streams on it to make sure that it's like good and it's something you guys will like. Only thing that I feel weird about the D&D thing is that I feel like when I do D&D at Collins, I won't be able to interact with the live chat. I feel like a big selling point for my channel is that I love hanging out with you guys, and I just feel like in the end with the D&D streams, you guys will be able to watch what we're doing, but I won't be able to actually talk to you directly. And I feel a little disappointed because I'd love to be able to talk with you guys directly, but I feel like that would disrupt Colin's like DMing, and I don't want to disrupt his sessions. I want him to be able to take on the normal flow. I don't want to miss anything while he's like going over what's going on, if that makes sense. Let's see. John Mason said, I would say, you've come from nowhere and you will leave nowhere. Lost World. That sounds pretty dope. I think out of the two, I like the Get Lost Lost World. Uh, that does sound interesting. What is Lost World's theme again? I think I asked that earlier. Let's see. John Mason said, fair enough. Nice, can't wait. Ray King said, like it. He said, I use it every time. And then John Mason said, right, I get your point. Yeah. I think one of the only things I've left out about today, Ray King said, oh, it is like a person that gets lost. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Isn't that what you meant earlier, Ray King, when you said that? Um, let's see. What am I thinking about? Oh, I went to breakfast as well. So they had a breakfast session, and I had a bowl of yogurt, I had two bowls of cereal, and I had an apple. It was a really good apple. It was one where you like bite into it and it has a solid crunch, but it was juicy, but it didn't look as juicy as it was. The yogurt was eh. It had cherries at the bottom, and you had to mix it up, but the cherry flavor wasn't as strong as I would have liked it to be. And the cereal was decent. I had like cinnamon checks and mini wheats, so it was okay. But that was my one meal for the day. Let's see. John Mason said one of the cards in the card game I'm making is based on that concept. Based on making people lost somewhere, based on breakfast. I missed where you were coming from on that. Ray King said, like the cards. Oh, ballin'. Well, what is your favorite buddy fight card? What's your buddy card, Ray King? That should be my question. John Mason said, the person in the card is searching for heaven, but death is lurking under their feet. That sounds almost like a line of a theme song translated into English from Japanese. Like that's how I imagine that. That is interesting. It sounds like you could do a story based on that, like someone who's lost in a card game. a lot of times characters get lost in like virtual worlds, but I think it would be dope if they were lost in like a card game and they're familiar with how the world works because they recognize what the card game is like and they're able to like find a way to get through it. Then Ray King said, that's how it was made. Then John Mason said, lol, based on breakfast. Then Ray King said, Armored Battle Demon Zeta. I need to learn more about the different Buddy Fight cards. I remember when it first came out, I got really into it because Buddy Card Fight has a lot of cards that have like actual demon names. I was really surprised because it doesn't seem like that kind of card game. You know, you wouldn't think because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't do that as far as I'm aware. I don't think they name cards after like real demons. Uh, so I thought that was weird. It was weird but cool. Then John Mason said, "Yeah, all my cards have stories, lore. That's dope." And then Ray King said, "For hero, okay. So Armored Battle Demon Zeta for hero." Then John Mason said, "Started Skyrim right before the stream." He says it's really cool. He said, "But yeah, in Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh they do. In Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh, they all have lore. Like, is that what you're saying? Oh, that they get trapped in the card game. Yeah, there are episodes where they like become cards, and there was a whole arc where they were trapped in like a virtual world, which I enjoyed. Ryan said he didn't care about that arc, and then John Mason said no, the demon names. Word, there are Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are named after like actual demons. That's interesting. And he said, but yeah, Arc V is his second favorite Yu-Gi-Oh. What's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh? I think I really like Zexal. I haven't finished Zexal, but I really like the main character Yuya and like how he's like working his way through the series. Um, and then after Zexal, I'd probably say GX. I really like the GX manga. I've gotten like a good way into it. I just haven't finished the manga yet. Um, but let me see. So I went to breakfast. I had yogurt, cereal, and milk. Oh, I also had a cup of hot water with sugar in it. I like to have hot sugar water. Like instead of making tea or hot chocolate, I just put sugar in a cup with hot water and I just kind of let it brew. John Mason said Arc V is amazing. He said Yuri is the best, and he said then Kaido, of course. Well, Uh, Arc V, I've only watched a little bit of it. I love that Starving Venom came out of it. I miss Starving Venom. He used to be my go-to boss monster. Ray King said, and for Lost World, the card that he uses as his buddy is Vile Demonic Dragon. Interesting. So it seems like you like the different demon-based cards in Lost World and in the Hero deck, which is cool. Let's see. What am I thinking about at the moment? I don't feel like there are a lot of other things that I really did today. I think the biggest issue with why I don't have a lot of stuff that I did today is that I just ended up falling asleep after the job fair. So it's like breakfast, job fair, take pictures with mom, sleep, wake up. Oh, and I talked to Maddie after the job fair. So breakfast, job fair, talk to Maddie, take pictures with mom, go to sleep, wake up, talk to Danica. Mom says that she needs to go to the bathroom, so she has to try and finagle her way past the camera. So I'm just gonna turn the camera around and wait for mom to pass. Uh, I tried to purposely avoid doing a stream in bed because there's like zero back support. But I guess I can lay down. Let's see. So John Mason said, "Oh my gosh, Nick, I heard some super sad news today." He said the only card game store in my country is closing down. In your country? You only have one trading card store in your country? That is like a hard mess up. Why are they closing down? The trading card store. Also, do you have any comic book shops? I've never asked you questions like that. Was it like a combo trading card store and comic book shop? Let's see. He said, "Now I have nowhere to play Magic the Gathering but online or with a few friends." I'm sorry to hear that. That definitely can disrupt like a gaming community to like lose the store. Are there any people who regularly go to that store who are thinking of like new places to play it? Because I feel like that would be like a good question. Ray King said, "And my impact does 10 damage for 2 gauges. What's the max damage in Buddy Card Fight?" I keep wanting to watch the latest anime with my friend Matt, but Matt's like, no, I don't want to watch Buddy Card Fight. I just want to watch Vanguard, but I think it'll be good. I think I'll like it. Then John Mason said, "Ah, you're such a great son." And he said, "Lol." And he said, "Yeah, sigh." He said, "Not enough money being made." And he said, "And also we have a few small comic stores. Maybe you guys could use the comic stores as a new trading card spot. I've noticed that a lot of comic book stores are really into the gaming aspect of things as well. So that might be a possible alternative option." And then he said, and yeah, they said they'll just move to Magic the Gathering Arena, unfortunately. Wait, so most people just said they'll just play on the app? That's an interesting, like, way for them to go. Also, should I play Magic the Gathering Arena? I personally don't like the mana system in Magic, but the fact that they have a mobile game um, is interesting to say the least. Um, then Ray King said, it is Vanity Zero. Is Vanity Zero the name of the current series? And then John Mason said, I really do think you should. So I might check it out, the Magic the Gathering arena thing. I think Kirby will really dig that. And he says, and it's not mobile to my knowledge. What? Magic the Gathering arena? Am I confusing it with something else? Because I know Magic the Gathering recently dropped a new app. Because I've seen like a few commercials about it. I get commercials about it on Facebook for whatever reason. And then Ray King said yes. And then John Mason said it's PC question mark. Real quick, I'm gonna open a tab because I know there's a brand new Magic the Gathering app. Let's see. So Magic the Gathering, magic.wizards.com. Scrolling down, Magic the Gathering Arena beta, download now. Brings the legendary strategy card game on to life on PC. The game that started it all remains unmatched in depth, cards, and competition. So there is a PC thing. I could have sworn there was a mobile version of that. MTG mobile game. Was it Magic Duels? Is that what it is? Give me one moment. Say Magic Duels. No, no, this doesn't look right either. Well, actually, it says it's available for Steam, iPhone, iPad, and Xbox One, but I still don't think this is right either. I know I've seen something. Is there any way that I can search directly for Magic the Gathering mobile games? I know they're out there. Google. What is it called? The Google Play Store. I'm going to search the Google Play Store. Before I continue searching, let me check the live chat real quick. I know there's a new one. Let's see. Then Ray King said Magic Deck app. He said, "Hey, I played that." Then John Mason said Mandela Effect, and Ray King said on my PC. Then he said Dooey Doo, and he said nice Ray King. What Mandela Effect did you have? I know a few common ones are people who believe that the Star Wars line is Luke, I am your father, and then there's a big like no. Another common Mandela effect is people think Curious George has a tail. Another one is Berenstein Bears. The spelling, that one is a really popular one. But let me check the Google Play Store. I can already feel my back being like, no. Then John Mason said, well, the most shocking one for me. Ooh, I'm interested in hearing what it is. He says it's within my family. Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. Magic the Gathering. I know there's a new Magic the Gathering thing. I remember hearing about it. Okay. So not the Magic 2015 thing, but I'm going to use that to get the Wizards of the Coast. What? Hold on. Is there really no new Magic the Gathering mobile app? I could have sworn that there was one that I kept seeing post about. I know there's Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. I've seen that. I've played that. There's Hearthstone. There's Elder Scrolls Legends, which is like the Bethesda game. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn I've been seeing ads for that and everything, but I guess it just doesn't exist. That's interesting. Eh? You were right. I just think it just may not have been a thing. Let me see. So going back to the live chat, let me read through. He said, one man I know for years to be dead. He said, I literally went to his funeral, and for years I knew he was dead. And then my aunt died, and he was there, like at the funeral. And he said, so I asked my family, wait, he had a twin? And they said no. And he said, you get the idea. But I've been to his funeral, and I'm not crazy. That's interesting to like see someone that you were pretty sure was dead, and then for your family to be like, no, he wasn't dead, because that makes you think if it wasn't his funeral, whose funeral was it? So I guess I would ask my family that. I'd be like, what funeral did we go to like back in the day or whatever? Like who was that who did die? I think that would be like a good question. Um, so let's see. I'm still trying to figure out if there's anything from my day that I like missed out on. Ray King said Vanguard. I am hyped for when that new Vanguard mobile app comes out. I am excited for that because I feel like. Oh wait, when you said Vanity Zero, were you saying the name of the new Vanguard app? Because I think it has zero in its name. But I'm really hyped to start doing Vanguard streams from my phone. Ooh, but that has an interesting segue. Um, the YouTube gaming app is how I currently stream my phone screen. Is how I do the Reddit streams where I like show you what I'm looking at on Reddit. Um, but I won't be able to do streams like that if YouTube doesn't add that functionality to the normal YouTube app. They're getting rid of the YouTube gaming app. And the normal YouTube app at the moment doesn't let you stream what's on your screen. So if the Vanguard app comes out and then YouTube takes away YouTube gaming without giving me the ability to stream my screen, then I won't be able to stream the Vanguard app, which I think would be really disappointing. John Mason said, Nick, think we can collab stream someday? And he said, it'll be so cool. I'd be down to do streams where it's like, hey guys, today I'm facing off against John Mason. But I kind of do that already when I do the Dueling Nexus and Dueling Book streams, stuff like that. I normally like just let anyone who's like available for a duel when I'm available for a duel just challenge me, and then we like have duels like on stream. I normally don't do collabs that are like I'm specifically only facing like this person because I normally like to hang out and interact with as many people as I can. John Mason said, but I mean, I'm also streaming on my channel too. Oh, you mean like you're streaming and I'm streaming, and then we both face off against each other, but we have like two different videos? Yeah, we could definitely do that. I've done that before in the past with YouTubers, so that's totally fine. And then Ray King said, do them more. Don't worry, we're going to have fan poll videos coming back Thursday. It's sad that they're coming back Thursday because what'll end up happening is we'll have our first real fan poll Thursday. Then after we do the Thursday fan poll, we'll move on to not having a fan poll for a little bit. So I only do fan polls Monday through Thursday, where I'll do a video early in the morning, I think around like 9 a.m., and I'll say, hey guys, comment on the video below and tell me what you guys want to watch today at 1 p.m. Then at 1 p.m., I do a fan poll results video where I go through the comment section and I say, this person voted for this, and this person voted for this. And then whatever gets the most votes, I then immediately do a video on after that. If it's something that I stream, if it's something that's like an edited video, then I try to get the video together, edit it, and then post it later on that day. But I only do them Monday through Thursday. So I'll do a fan poll stream Thursday, and then Friday will hit, and I won't have a fan poll. And then Monday, it'll be a normal fan poll schedule. But I think this week I'll have one fan poll on Thursday, and then next week we'll start with the regular schedule Monday through Thursday. And I am going to keep doing these daily vlog streams after midnight, so you guys will be able to watch the fan poll streams, and you'll be able to watch the vlog streams. And the vlog streams will be daily content, so I'm already always hitting it up. And then John Mason said, well, Nick, how about we just wait till you're ready to fan poll? Well, I mean, I will be ready Thursday. I just won't be ready Wednesday. Because Wednesday I'll be back and it'll be after the normal fan poll time. But tomorrow I will have a fan poll video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, Thursday you guys will be able to vote for what you guys want to watch. And then Monday we'll have fan polls going on some more. Let's see. Ray King said dueling book. John Mason said school starts on the 21st, so he may miss them from then. Um, And I understand school schedules definitely make my streaming schedule a little weird because of the fact that they end up happening in the afternoon. But don't worry, you can always watch them afterwards. It's just too bad that we're not able to do live content the whole time. Also, let me rotate my laptop around so I can get back in that chair. There we go. So I'm back in the chair. Let's see. But then John Mason said, but I'll def watch them on my lunch breaks in school. Oh, ballin', that'd be nice. Ray King said yes, and then John Mason said, wait, what time tomorrow again? 1 p.m.? So tomorrow I won't be doing a fan poll video. I'll have a vlog. On Thursday, though, on Thursday, I'll have a fan poll video. It'll be 1 p.m. my time. Right now I'm in Washington, D.C., which is an hour ahead. So back in Alabama, where I'm from, it'll be like 1 a.m. right now. So 1 p.m. for me. Let's see. You say it's 3:10 a.m. for you right now, which means you're 2 hours ahead of me. So 1 p.m. for me is 3 p.m. for you. So it would be 3 p.m. for you. I would do the fan poll streams. So you may or may not be in school around like 3 p.m. So you may be able to tune in anyways to the fan poll streams. Because like I said, we stream those fan poll streams at 1 p.m. That's the results video we do at 1. The voting video we do earlier in the day. I do it around 9 a.m. So for you, it would be 10, 11. It would be 11 a.m. for you when I did the voting stream. But you don't really have to watch that. You just have to vote for it. Ray King said it's 1:11 for him. So Ray King, you're on my time zone setup. So it'll just be normal time for you. It'll just be 1 p.m. for you whenever I do those fan poll streams. And it'll be 9 a.m. when I set up the voting stream. Ray King said there are less people. There are less people watching tonight's vlog, I've noticed. We have 4 likes, but we have more or less just 2 viewers watching consistently, but that's okay. I didn't really do a lot today, so I understand if not as many people are like tuning in. Let's see. So, John Mason said, have you ever streamed and then on another device watch your stream? No, there's not really much of a point. My friends will watch streams that they're in like right after we do something sometimes, which I think is weird. Like I may hang out with Dozer, and then like the next day, Dozer will be watching a stream that he was in. And I guess the only thing that I think is weird about it is like you were there though, like you didn't. It's not like you missed anything. But it is interesting to hear their comments on streams because it's a way for them to look at it from another perspective, and I think that's cool because Dozer was like Ian was cheating at cards, and he could like see in the stream that Ian was cheating. Like I thought that was cool. I've hung out with Colin before, and Colin's like played one of the streams that he was in while we were all hanging out, and it was interesting because it was just like we were there, we were all there. So it's interesting to like rewatch it because the main interest that I could see about rewatching something that happened recently, because it's different to rewatch an old stream because you can see how everyone's changed over time. But watching something that you did like a couple days ago would just to be to see if you could find something that you didn't notice or maybe you misheard when you like were originally there. Let's see. And then John Mason said, and see what happens. I've once done a can we stream the stream where I tried to stream the YouTube app and I streamed the live stream itself and it became like an infinite loop. And that was really interesting. I think that's the closest I've gotten to that. Let's see. John Mason said, and I usually miss the voting vids. I'm sorry to hear that because a big part of it is trying to get the votes in and be able to get what you wanted to watch out of it. Let's see. John Mason said, lol. Ray King said, yay. John Mason said, 5 likes. It always says that there's one more like than there ever really is. But for me, it only shows 2 viewers and 4 likes. Then Ray King said, I'm dueling and watching. Oh, cool. I hope your duel's going well. John Mason said, I also have this other book I'm writing. He said the main character's love interest is killed in an accident, and he makes a deal with an entity to save her. He has to kill one human every day for eternity, but he has, well, until he dies. So he has to kill someone every day? That's interesting. In the Unexpected, which is a book written by DC, there's a character who has to fight someone every day. And every time they win a fight, it like increases their like life energy. So they have to do it once a day or they'll die. But I don't think they can just fight a whole bunch of people and live off of that. It's like a required one fight each day. And I thought that was a cool concept. And John Mason said, and if he misses a kill, she, him, and everyone he ever spoke to will die. Everyone he ever spoke to? That would kill like most people. Ray King said, I'm winning. Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you're killing it in the buddy card fight. Also, Mom, I just wanted to let you know, because this is like a live stream, they can like also hear you. And anything that you say would just be in the thing. Yeah, I want to let you know. What? It's just a room with two people talking. There's like no way to avoid that. Mm-hmm. Mom acting like she's whispering. You're not though. um. Well, what did I do today? Then John Mason said, "Lol." So today, woke up, had breakfast, cinnamon checks, frosted mini wheats. John Mason said, "I didn't hear anything." I'm shocked. It's a small room, for the most part, and there are only like two things that sound. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. um, but cereal. I had cinnamon checks, frosted mini wheats. I had like a thick Greek yogurt that had cherries in it. I didn't really like the yogurt that much. And I had warm sugar water. I really like warm sugar water. You just have hot water, put sugar in it, bam, have a delicious drink. But that's what I had for breakfast. 4 interviews, got 2 conditional job offers out of them. I'm actually really excited. I feel like I'll enjoy those jobs a lot, and I potentially have an additional job offer. Potentially, I have another interview with a national laboratory. So wish me luck on that. Um, that interview will probably be over the phone, which I think will be a little weird. I've never really been a fan of talking over the phone, so I hope that works out. Um, I need to apply to a whole bunch of jobs over the weekend, so I'll be doing that. Dozer's birthday is this Friday, so we're gonna probably do something for Dozer's birthday. So that's gonna be fun. I've heard he wants Skyward Sword for his birthday, uh, and that seems like something I can easily oblige him on, like getting him a copy. Um, I think what I could probably do is go to GameStop with Dozer and give him like a limit. Like you can only spend this much, but I'll buy whatever it is that fits within like that price range. And then he like get a game or get multiple games. So I feel like he'd enjoy that a lot. Um, let's see. Ray King said, "Does your mom feel okay?" She's coughing a little bit and sniffling, but she doesn't seem like too bad off. John Mason said, "Nick, can you tell your mom something for me? Tell her you and her should have a cooking stream." Um, Mom's currently on the phone, but I'll bring it up. Hey, Mom. John Mason says it would be cool if we did a cooking stream at some point. Maybe we could like make sugar cookies or something. Okay. Mom nodded her head. She thought that was a cool idea. I actually have an old video on the channel where me and my grandma made a carrot cake. If you'd be interested in seeing that, I was like a really little kid at the time. Then John Mason said, "Haha." He said it'll be fun to watch you two have fun. And he said, "Good luck." He said, "What about a video interview?" Um, a video call interview I think would be interesting. It might be a little less awkward. I think the main thing I don't like about teleconferencing interviews is I feel like any system in which you can talk over the other person ruins the experience. In real life, it's really easy to hear that someone else is talking and stop yourself. On the phone, you can talk over someone and you'll never know that you talked over them. You may hear them for like a moment, but then you can't hear the fact that they had like a continuous thought, so you just kind of keep going. And I really don't like talking over people. I feel like it's a gross experience for everybody involved. You miss information, they miss information, and they miss the opportunity to talk to you is gross. That's on large part why I don't like phone calls. It's just a lot easier to talk in person. Um, but like I said, 2 conditional job offers. I got to talk to Maddie about her day. It seems like Maddie's doing pretty well. I think she bit off a little too much when it comes to like her class schedule. So I know that she's gonna probably drop a couple classes. She's trying to take like 2 foreign language classes at the same time. I just think that's a little too much. Um, took pictures with mom, but we didn't really take pictures that long. We like walked outside. She took like a couple pictures, then we just came back inside. Uh, Tried to take a couple naps, didn't work. Just ended up falling straight to sleep. That's not a nap. That's just sleeping. Um, let's see. Then I got to talk to Danica once I woke up. I had to reply to a few messages and tell friends that I'm not available to hang out. I just like want to apply to jobs and exercise and live stream. I haven't had a chance to apply to a bunch of stuff since I got back to the hotel, so I'll probably end up applying to a bunch of stuff later on this week. Let's see, John Mason said 2 languages. So Maddie is currently well versed in Spanish and English, um, but she's about to take the second Russian course. Well, she's taking the second Russian course this semester, and she has the first French course, and she's not sure she can handle doing French and Russian and Spanish and English. I feel like she should take it a little bit slower. I feel like she probably should finish her Spanish all the way first before she takes on anything else, um, and then work her way from there. Um, Russian, I think, would be interesting. I feel like Spanish would be the most useful one out of all those languages. Russian would be interesting. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with relations between the U.S. and Russia. So having a translator, I think, is very important for trying to communicate like peace. You know what I mean? So I can see why she might be interested in learning Russian. French, I don't necessarily know why she's learning French. I'm not saying that it's not good or bad, but it's weird. Yo, Nani, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let's see. John Mason said sleeping is my fave part of life. He said 90% of the time I'm sleeping. Um, I try and just limit my sleep to 8 hours more or less. Let's see. John Mason said I have a lot of sleep paralysis. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That you have a lot of sleep paralysis. Um, I have a few friends who have night terrors and stuff like that, and they talk about it, and it doesn't sound like a very good experience. Ray King said, "Okay, I'm buddy calling." Oh, nice. Right now, Ray King's playing buddy fight, and he said, "I'm buddy calling my monster." What's the hype? What do you say when you buddy call normally? Like, do you have a catchphrase for that? John Mason said, and nightmares that he has. He said, but I got so used to them that I just laugh it off now. He said, one night I woke up with sleep paralysis and I saw a giant baby head in the corner of my room and I just laughed. A giant severed baby head? Was it like alive or like a dead baby head? I feel like that really changes the image. Nani said, is it a real vlog? Yeah, it's a real vlog. Then Ray King said, yeah. Then John Mason said, what's up, Nani? Nice, what's up? John Mason said, don't be sorry. It started when I was a kid and now I love it. He said, it's really exciting to be awake but dreaming. I understand where you're coming from. I think the part of it is if you get like that really real sensation when you're like halfway between being asleep and being awake, they call it hypnagogia. Your senses just kind of merge, and it feels like the things that you're dreaming are just like really around you. Mom's had some hypnagogia experiences when she was younger. She talks about waking up and seeing like snakes on the floor and stuff like that. Let's see. Ray King said, "I buddy call a monster. You cannot be destroyed." So is that what you say? You say, "I buddy call a monster. You cannot be Oh, that you cannot destroy. I see. I buddy call a monster. You cannot destroy." Uh, I could see that. I don't know. I feel like if I was to do a buddy call, like cry, I would probably yell out the monster's name, and I would say something as if I was talking directly to my buddy, like "We got this," or like something like that. John Mason said one time I dreamt that I had to find help to save a shopkeeper, and I messaged my friend saying to talk to the shopkeeper. And then John Mason said he'll tell you how to save them. So you just kind of like message your friend so that your friend could help the shopkeeper, but then you told your friend that they should talk to the shopkeeper. It's almost like you just delegated it. Like instead of you like trying to help the shopkeeper, you're like, my friend's got it. You just kind of like pass it along. John Mason said she was so confused. Oh, it sounds like it. If I just randomly got hit up by my friend and they were like, help the shopkeeper. And then John Mason said I was asleep and awake at the same time. Oh wait, so you messaged your friend in real life to help the shopkeeper from the dream. Now that's interesting, actually. I think I misinterpreted that at first when you originally said it. That would be a trip for my friend to hit me up to help them out with their dream. I guess I would try and give my best advice. John Mason said, so I thought I was actually getting help from the shopkeeper, but in reality, you're just confusing your friend. I see. That's actually a pretty interesting story, not gonna lie. Nani, have you smashed that like button yet? Are you enjoying the stream? I'm looking at that like counter. I'm not sure if you're enjoying the stream, Nani. Then Ray King said, "Oh, like I use my buddy. This is a bond you can't break." Yeah, I think that's something that they say in the show, something along those lines. Nani said, "Cool. Oh, thank you for smashing that like button, Nani. Truly appreciate it." Like I mentioned earlier, had breakfast. It was like frosted mini wheats, cinnamon checks, warm sugar water, which is pretty nice. Think of like tea, but just with water and sugar and nothing else. Then Nani said, "No problem." The light went away. Then the light came back. Let's see. I had a thick Greek yogurt that had like cherries at the bottom, and you had to like mix it up. That wasn't really that good. I wasn't a fan of that. And I had a nice, crunchy, juicy apple. I really enjoyed it. And the light disappeared once again. Let's see. Then after breakfast, I went to the job fair, had 4 interviews, and I got 2 conditional job offers. So that's pretty solid. Uh, then after that, I I was pretty tired. I ended up taking pictures with mom, but mom only took like a couple pictures, and then we were done with that. I got into more comfortable clothes because I've been wearing a suit all day. And then after I took off my suit. I got into like normal clothes. I was planning to apply to a bunch of jobs, but I was a little too tired. I tried to take 2 or 3 different naps, but I ended up just falling straight to sleep. Also, I forgot to mention after the job fair, but before I took pictures with mom, I talked to Maddie on the phone. We talked about her day. It sounds like she's been taking on a few too many classes, and she's probably going to drop a few. I woke up. I had to tell a few of my friends I wasn't free to hang out. I exercised. I watched a little bit of Hunter x Hunter, and I started up the stream. And also, I got contacted by a national lab about a potential interview, so I'm hyped for that. Nani says he's not the one who's disliking the stream. He's like, then John Mason said, "There's only 3 of us here." And then John Mason said, "Nick, I hate that we have to wear certain clothes for certain occasions." He said, "What are your thoughts on this?" I think a large part of it is to avoid judgment. So the idea is that a suit is seen as like business acceptable, right? And people will judge you based on your clothing without trying to. So if everyone's wearing a suit, everyone's on an even playing field. So they can't judge you based off of whether or not like you wore like a novelty shirt or maybe you wore a shirt with a band that they don't like. They can't have those internal judgments on you because of the fact that don't they can't do it because you're not dressing that way, if that makes sense. Um, it puts everyone on an even baseline, and you can't have like accidental judgment, if that makes sense. I think funerals are a similar way. You can't be judged as wearing something that's inconsiderate to the dead because you're just wearing a plain suit. There's like nothing weird about it that anyone could take offense to. Weddings, I don't understand. I don't understand getting dressed up for a wedding. Um, Yeah, I just think that's weird. I think that's like a tradition-based thing. But what are you gonna do? Wear something that offends the other family? That just sounds stupid. I feel like weddings could be casual if you wanted them to be. That doesn't really matter. So I feel like it heavily depends on the event. Let's see. Ray King said, "For my hero buddy, I will say, no fear. My buddy is here. Go Ray Knight." See, that's cool. I like that a little bit more. John Mason said, "I want to get humanity to forget all of that." It's interesting. This is the second time you've mentioned like trying to do like an amnesia based power on humanity to like change the way things are done. It sounds like that's your desired power is to be able to make people forget things and change like how cultures work. And he said, "But I won't be able to." Sigh. Then Nani said, "Are you gonna see the Super movie?" Yeah, I'm gonna see Dragon Ball Super Broly. Is that even a question? All my friends are hype about it, so we're probably gonna all go see it. Um, I don't know. The only thing that I feel weird about doing whenever I go see movies with friends is I don't like being the guy who has to buy all the tickets. Uh, I trust my friends to pay me back, right? Like I know my friends will pay me back, but I really don't like people being in debt to me, and I really don't like waiting for money. So that I don't like having to do both those things. I prefer if my friends didn't owe me anything, but I'm not just gonna spend a whole bunch of money and not expect it to come back. And then I don't like waiting for money. So I don't like the concept of you pay for your friend and then you have to like wait for them to like pay you back. I think is gross. I kind of would prefer if we all separately bought tickets, but then you can't guarantee that you can all sit together. You know, there are additional complications. It's just easier to like buy tickets for your friends and then work it out. But I don't know. Let's see. John Mason says he hates funerals now. He says he's been to more than 10 last year alone. Wow. Um, I don't feel like a lot of people like funerals though, so I feel like most people would agree that they don't like funerals. They're not really that enjoyable. He says I'm totally numb to death now. I'm pretty like numb when people die. Um, I normally get sad like later on. I'll have a dream about them and I'll wake up and I'll cry once and it'll be about it. I see dying as like a new beginning, so I'm less sad. It's normally, you know, they're just like doing something else. They're now living in a different existence, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's less of a reason to be sad and more of a reason to think of how, you know, in a way, they'll always still be with you, like in like a spiritual way. So they're not really like gone, gone, and that they're just having a new beginning. It's less of an end and just like another path. You know what I mean? Then Nani said, "Is it in 3D? The Broly movie? I'm not sure. I think you might be able to see it in IMAX, but I'm not sure if it's in 3D." And then John Mason said, "Why not just buy your own tickets though?" And he said, "Wait, there are seating arrangements in your cinemas?" He said, "We just sit wherever we want in ours." We normally go to the Monaco. The Monaco is the nicer theater in the area, and it has assigned seating. So you buy your ticket and you pick your seat. That way, no one can like just take your seat from you. Then John Mason said, "One time my aunt showed up in my dream and she kept smiling and approaching me. He said, I kept shouting that she's supposed to be dead. You're not supposed to be here. And I woke up crying." That's interesting. Um, Normally, when I have a dream about like a loved one, like a relative or a friend who died, and I wake up crying, it's normally a good dream. It's normally like we're all hanging out and we're just having a good time. And then you wake up and you're sad because they're gone, kind of thing. Nani said, "Why don't they give you the money if that's the case?" I guess that's also how I feel. I would prefer that if I'm gonna buy the tickets for them, that they just give me the money right then and there. But what'll end up happening is you buy the tickets and then your friends say, "I'll pay you like when we go see the movie, or I'll pay you like another day." They're like, "You know I'm good for it," kind of thing. And it's like, I know you are, but I'd rather just have that money now. It really sucks to like spend a bunch of money because we go with like a huge group of friends. I imagine for the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that Colin will want to go, Gerard will want to go, Dozer will want to go, Serena will want to go, CJ will want to go. We'll all want to go together, and I'll have to buy my own ticket and everybody else's ticket. I'll have to find a bunch of seats where we're all next to each other, and then I have to depend on each of those people to not only pay me but then to go. Sometimes you pay for a whole bunch of people to go, and then like three or four of them are like, "Oh, something came up. Oh, there's like another thing, and I can't go now." And you've put money out and they don't want to pay you back because they're like, "I'm not going now. Can someone else just take the ticket?" And it's like, ooh, that's so gross. I would prefer if you pay me that money first because it gives you more of a reason to go and to not like shave some money off the top. You know what I mean? Let's see. So then Ray King said, "I win. Haha. Get your game on. Yo, congratulations with your victory, Ray King." Nani said, "That's true." And then John Mason said, "Eight of you will go." And then Nani said, "Would you live stream it?" No, I wouldn't film the movie in theaters. That's gross. I don't do. I'll watch bootlegs. Like if someone else was to film the movie, I'd watch that. But I don't film bootlegs. I don't like make my own. And if I was to watch a bootleg, I wouldn't download it. It would have to be on a website where you could just watch it, just directly. Also, has anyone posted the movie online yet? I know that a lot of movies, especially animated movies, get filmed in theaters really quickly, and you can just find them online. There's just someone who's like filmed it with a camera. So I'm curious to see if anyone's filmed Broly
Yeah,
yet.
you told me
I
to see
haven't
something
heard
Broly.
about it
You
yet.
said it was good too.
Oh, Aquaman? Yeah, go see Aquaman. Did Grandpa see it?
Grandpa went saw it.
What do you think?
He thought it was good.
It is good. Grandpa liked Aquaman. That's solid. Let's see. John Mason said, I glimpsed the future Nick. He said, and I can tell you it will rain that day, and the syrup will fall. Beware the syrup.
Right.
The syrup will fall. What is this, breakfast time? Oh, the other day, one of my friends said that salad is a glorified waffle, and everyone at the table was confused. And it was because I mentioned that I don't think I really like salad. I think I like dressing, and I feel like eating sauce is weird. So we put sauce on salad to give it texture so that you're actually eating something with substance instead of just eating sauce. But you don't necessarily eat it for the flavor of the salad. You eat it for the texture of like the greens, and then you eat it for the flavor of the sauce. And someone tried to argue that people eat waffles for the same reason, that you eat waffles for the toppings that are put on it and like baked inside. You don't eat it for the bread. I was like, that's not true. Sometimes I eat plain waffles. That's like the main thing I order at Waffle House. I'll get plain waffles and I'll have like water with it. Let's see. Then Nani said, make sure you tell them, like, confirm that they are coming. People will tell you that they're coming and that they're sure that they'll come. And then it'll be like the day of, and like a few hours before the movie, and they're like, oh, I can't make it. Something came up, I can't make it, I can't do it now. And it's understandable. Sometimes it's like a family thing. Sometimes it's a school-based thing where it's like, oh, there's this assignment. I thought I'd be done by now, but I wasn't. You know, like they normally have a good reason, but it doesn't make it feel any like less bad to be like, ooh, I gotta figure out what to do now. So I would definitely prefer to get paid ahead of time, and then if they decide that they like don't want to see the movie, I keep that money. Like if they're like, oh well, I can't go, um, then I would be like, I'd keep the money unless I can get someone else to like buy your ticket essentially, and if I can't get someone else to buy your ticket, then I'm just gonna keep that money. I'd be like, no refunds unless I'm able to like actually resell the ticket. I want to set those conditions up ahead of time this time around, because for the My Hero Academia movie, we had a big group of people to go see that, and I had to like re-give tickets to Black David. Luckily, Black David was available to like come see the movie with us, um, and I just don't like that experience. I also don't like it because your friends assume you don't trust them when you say stuff like that. They go like, "Oh well, if you want the money so soon, is that because you think that I won't pay you back?" And it's like, no, I'm pretty sure you'll pay me back. I just don't want to wait. And I know they have the money. I think that's the other thing. Some of my friends who wait to pay me back, I think do it just because. Like I know you can pay me. I know you like have the money with you. Just like hit me up. Uh, but let me scroll up. Let's see. Ray King said, I had a dream that his dad died. Ooh. He said his dad woke me up and I was crying. I could see that happening. Like, you had a dream that, like, a parent died and then you see them and you're, like, relieved that they're, like, alive. Not parents, I've had dreams where I've been mad at someone and I wake up and I'm, like, upset and I have to, like, face that person, like, really quickly. And I, like, know that they, like, didn't do anything wrong. And I'm trying to, like, rationalize not being mad, but I see them and I'm like, you did that thing in my dream. uh, I never act on it. I never like confront them like, I can't believe you did that thing in my dream. But I find myself like having a nice conversation with someone, and then in the back of my head being like, but they screwed me over in that dream though. And then Nani said, oh wait, I missed something. John Mason said, damn, Ray. He said, that's a harsh dream. Then Nani said, yay. He said, yeah, they did, but it's bad quality. Oh, so someone has bootlegged the Broly movie and posted it online. That's understandable that it's bad quality because they're filming it on like a camera. And he said, it looks bad but amazing at the same time. I know, excuse me, I know what you mean. And then John Mason said, lol. And then he said, wait, that was in theaters? Yeah, the My Hero Academia movie was in theaters. We were all hyped for that. We went to go see the movie. I think it has the best fight out of like all of the My Hero Academia fights so far in the anime. Was in that movie, so it was pretty good. Um, I live in a nerd city, so whenever like an animated movie ends up being in theaters, we end up getting it for the most part. I think Resurrection F was also in theaters locally when it came out, and like Battle of the Gods and stuff like that. And then John Mason said, not many, at least none in my country. He said, we only have five. He said, no, wait, four. He said, they're still making the fifth cinema. Then Ray King said, Nick. Then John Mason said, oh, Nick, that happens to me all the time. He said, lol. He says, but I do confront them about it. Then Nani said, I've never seen it in my theaters. And then John Mason said, sigh. Now I want waffles. Waffle House, I always say, is my favorite restaurant. Now I just feel like that's not true. I have so many good memories with friends. Uh, Going to Cookout, getting milkshakes at Cookout. Speaking of which, hey mom, we eventually need to go to Cookout. Also, you're on the phone, mom. How are you gonna look at TV while you're on the phone? I don't see it happen. Then John Mason said, every time I join the stream, I leave feeling for something I can't get to eat. I'm sorry to hear that, that we make you hungry on the stream. He said, Nick,
You said
have
you
you ever
talking to
had
who?
doubles to eat? What are doubles?
Are you talking to
Do you
Nani?
mean like eating twice, or is like doubles like a type of food? Um, but Waffle House used to be my favorite restaurant. I would get two waffles. I would order a
What Nani
pie.
you saying?
I get like a cold pie instead of them warming it up. I would crush the pie on top of the waffles,
No, what did you
and
say?
then I get bacon, and I crush the bacon over the waffles and pie, and it makes this like delicious big meal that's like sweet, but it has like nice soft bread, but you still get like a little bit of like a satisfying like crunch out of it. Like it's not too soft, and you get like the crunchy bacon bits and the sweetness of the pie. I really enjoy that. So Waffle House used to be my favorite restaurant, but Cookout, the employees are so nice. They know me now. I have a menu item that's like not even a real menu item. It's just something that I can order and they know what I want. And I think that's great. I've had many dates there. I hang out with friends there all the time. They have the best milkshakes in town. They're inexpensive. You can get any combination of shake flavors you want, and they're willing to cooperate with you and like do interesting things. They have really inexpensive food, but the food's good, especially if you eat it fresh. I feel like cookout food is best if you eat it as soon as it comes out. Even if you just take it from like the restaurant to your house, it will not taste the same. Like if you eat it right then, it's the best. Um, but let's see. Then John seemed really surprised that I didn't know what doubles are. I still don't know what doubles are. Then Nani said, "Isn't Cookout the place you always get milkshakes?" Mm-hmm. Best milkshakes in town,
Yes,
no doubt.
it is.
Best milkshakes I think I've ever had. Cookout,
Yes,
uh,
and Keisha
no
said
doubt.
it can be strong too.
Then John Mason said, "You don't know doubles? One sec." He said, "Nick, can you Google doubles like now?" He says, "It's my favorite snack in the country." He said, "Curry is his favorite food." My favorite curry is chicken tikka masala. I like it on, I think it's called pan, the soft triangle bread. I more or less eat it like pizza, where I get multiple slices of pan and I put them on a plate as if I like have made a big pizza, so I fit them all together, and then I cover the top of it in chicken tikka masala curry, and then I eat it like slices of pizza, picking up the pan by like the edges and like eating it. So I really dig that. And then John Mason said, I just like roti and curry chicken. Oh, ballin'. Nani said, do you still play mobile games? So I do still do mobile games. I do them if they get voted for in the fan polls. We haven't had fan polls in a hot minute, but we will have a fan poll Thursday. And then the normal fan poll schedule is going to start back next Monday. So fan polls are coming back. That is going to be a thing. And I am going to keep doing these daily vlog videos. I think on Fridays the daily vlogs are going to be a little weird because I'll be hanging out with Colin and the guys. So what I'll probably do is do daily vlogs after I hang out with Colin. So they'll probably be really late on Fridays, the vlog videos. But you'll also see us stream D&D on Fridays. So that'll be a thing. This Friday will be Dozer's birthday though. So we probably won't have a D&D stream. It'll be us hanging out with Dozer. Nani said, "Oh, I already read that." Then John Mason said, "Or rice dal and curry chicken." Nani said, "Do you still like Legends?"
Cause we
Legends. Oh, Dragon Ball Legends. Dozer has been really into Dragon Ball Legends. I haven't played it in a
you
long
just
time.
make sure you
Like I
answer
said,
them right, cause
I normally stream mobile games when they win fan
we
polls,
still take it.
so I probably won't play Legends again until it wins another fan poll. Then John Mason said doubles, Nick. Doubles. I'll Google that now. Also, need that back support.
I'm gonna call you back in a minute.
Doubles snack.
Alright.
Also, is there another name for double? Oh, I see it.
Bye bye.
So, doubles is a common street food in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a snack made with two barras, flat fried bread filled with curry chana and curry chickpeas. I don't think I've ever had that type of curry before, but I see the appeal. It reminds me of what I like to do with pan and putting chicken tikka masala on it. Um, but it's less like a pizza. It looks almost like an open burrito kind of thing. Then Nani said rip. Then John Mason said, I want to see your reaction as your body lusts for food. I'm actually more a milkshake guy. If it was milkshakes, I'd be like, well, not a curry milkshake. I don't think I'd be too hyped for that. Uh, let's see. Nani said, the art in Legends is like so good. He said, I can't wait for Kefla to come out or any of the female characters in Dragon Ball to like get more representation. I could see that. Isn't Android 18 in the game now? For Dragon Ball Legends? I could have sworn I heard that the androids were on there. What about? Also, what is your favorite card in Dragon Ball Legends so far? It's weird to call them cards because they are just straight up characters. Are you doing sit-ups, mom? Mom says she wants to look at TV. So let me give a quick wrap up of my day again, and then I'll end the stream. So let's see. I woke up in the morning, went to the big breakfast that they had. I had frosted mini wheats, cinnamon checks, uh, warm sugar water, and the Greek yogurt with the cherries at the bottom. Like I said, I didn't really like the yogurt that much. I also had a really good apple. When I got the apple, I was suspicious of it. It didn't look like it was gonna be like good, and I bit into it, and it was nice. I had a good crunch to it, and it was juicy. I really enjoyed that apple. Um, so after breakfast, I went to the job fair. I had four interviews. Two of the interviews didn't lead to anything, but the remaining two interviews led to conditional job offers, which I'm going to try and pursue. So wish me luck on that. I'm also going to potentially have another interview relatively soon, but it'll be a phone interview. Wish me luck on that. So then after that, the job fair, I got a call from Maddie, and me and Maddie talked for a little bit. I got to learn more about her day. Seems like she bit off a little more than she can chew with her class schedule, but she can afford to drop a few classes and be able to like go through that. Hung out with my mom. We took a few pictures outside. Then I came back inside. I was going to apply to a whole bunch of jobs, but I was a little too tired. So I tried to take a couple 25-minute naps, but instead I was just knocked out. When I woke up, I missed a bunch of messages from my friends asking to hang out. I was like, sorry, I'm not available. I wanted to watch some Hunter x Hunter, exercise, and do the stream, and that's what I ended up doing. I only got to watch like one episode of Hunter x Hunter, sadly, but at least I got to watch that. And I'm currently on episode, I think 119. Yeah, 119 is the next episode of Hunter x Hunter I'll be watching. But I'll keep you guys up to date on how I'm enjoying Hunter x Hunter and the Chimera Anarch and everything like that. Um, but yeah, I think that's my day in a nutshell, like what I did. Um, Also, John Mason, you mentioned that you sent me a tip through Brave browser. I appreciate it. I don't know how to receive that tip, but it's good to know. Also, if you guys want to be able to directly support the channel and not have to like buy a book on Amazon or to support me through Fiverr or anything like that, I do have a Patreon where you're able to donate money directly to the channel. You can choose to donate so much money a month, and there are particular rewards to doing different tiers of the Patreon. I think the lowest Patreon tier is $1, so you can donate $1 a month, and if you do, you get fan poll priority on Thursdays. So people who vote who are Patreon supporters, their votes can override all the other votes. So it actually is a good benefit to give to the Patreon. I know there's one Patreon tier that we have where you get a free book every month, where I write an ebook and I like email you like the PDF for the ebook. So there are definitely like solid Patreon things that you can do. Let's see. John Mason said curses. He said, now I have to like again. He said, I refreshed the page and my like disappeared. Oh, thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. Nani said, cool. He said, the Anarch is lit. It is lit. I feel like I enjoy Greed Island a lot more than the Chimera Anarch, though, so far. John Mason said, pay to win, lol. And he said, oh, really? That's cool. And then Nani said, cool. Yeah, so if you guys want to support the channel via Patreon, feel free to do so. I'm sure there's a Patreon link in the channel description, so feel free to hit up the channel and look at the About section, and it should have the Patreon link in it. But I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. And thank you all once again for tuning in. Peace. Mom, while you watch Netflix, I'm going to watch